Hello, hello, hello. Back with another Path of Exile 2 video. So, as we all know, I'm a massive Flicker Strike lover, and I've played Flicker Strike since 0.2. 0.1, it were obviously Ice Strike, Temper Spell, etc. I've decided again to make Flicker and a Falling Thunder martial artist. The main principle of this is all about being able to infinitely, say that in apostrophes, generate power charges. Okay? The main goal is for this to keep the Flicker Strike, Falling Thunder loop consistently going. The way we do this, obviously, compared to the Invoker, Martial Artist does not have Lead Me Through Grace, which means it cannot get Spirit from its body armor. So we'll have to rely on the 100 Spirit from campaign, the socketed amulet, maybe we can socket cast on crit, or just taking stuff with less spirit cost. The main loop is Whirling Assault, Reaper's Invocation with Profane Ritual. Because this is a melee skill and this is a melee skill, this will build up energy, proc Profane Ritual when you manually press it, okay? This is a thing you need to understand. You need to actually press Reaper's Invocation. This will give you power charges, means you can Flicker Strike. Flicker Strike is a melee skill, so therefore it'll build up for Reaper's Invocation. Press it again, you'll get power charges. If you found yourself with some spare charges, use Falling Thunder. If you found yourself surrounded by loads of ads, use Falling Thunder. Before we move into the skills and everything like that, I just need to say Mantra of Destruction, okay? Do not quality Mantra of Destruction. If you quality it, its combo will go down. Yes, you'll get to the combo quicker, but it will give you less power charges when you pop it. Don't quality it, just keep it at 0% quality. I will update the gear as and when we go through, but I've basically just put a Sinister Quarterstaff. These are the ones that give you the highest crit chance. Well, it has been nerfed in the term of melee skills, so you can't have +7 anymore. The max you can get is +5, so the best option would be to get +5. Elemental damage, flat damage, crit chance, and crit damage bonus. You could either go for crit chance and attack speed. I personally like to scale elemental damage. Some people like to scale physical damage. Again, that's your personal preference, realistically. I find elemental damage scales better than physical. Just one thing, quarterstaffs are going to be popular this league, okay? There's a lot of people that are playing the monk. If you can't afford a decent quarterstaff, Hollow Palm will probably be able to carry you to a certain point. If you can afford a quarterstaff, be vigilant. Some people will start throwing on extra flat attacks, extra increased physical damage, runes. This will then put it up, so therefore you are then focusing on your DPS rather than the actual interactions, okay? So just be careful when you're buying a quarterstaff. Just because a quarterstaff says 900 DPS doesn't mean it's better than the one that's 600 DPS that has way better rolled skills or anything like that. So we're going to go into the skills. This is a bit different to how I normally do it. Again, I'm just going for the Mobalytics guide. The link will be in the description. If you like it, give it a favourite, give it a share. It really, really helps. And if you're still watching right now, give the video a like. Again, it helps the algorithm. So, Flicker Strike. We have lost Overextend. Okay, Overextend gave it a big critical damage bonus, and unfortunately that has gone. GGG decided that we don't want too much critical damage bonus because we was doing too much critical damage bonus. Hit and run. Hit and run gives you 40% more skill speed. Remember, more is better than increase. This supporter skills become usable after you move 10 meters. With Flicker Strike, you will move more than 10 meters. Close combat. Supporter skills deal 30% more damage when your enemies are in 1 meter of you. We are within 1 meter. Remember, we're melee, so we are going to be close. We are going to be close combat. Heightened curses. This is the one that I'm not too sure about. So benefits from consuming charges for support skill have a 20% chance to be doubled. Flicker Strike teleports and strikes 2 additional times per power charge with a 285% more attack speed. My theory is, would Flicker Strike, instead of striking 2 additional times per power charge, strike 4 additional times for 1 power charge, or would it be for all the power charges? And would it strike that with an extra 570% more attack speed? Like I said, this is the one that I'm unsure about. Perpetual charge, again, we're going to have the chance not to remove the charges, so that means you can technically flicker for longer. Concentrated area gives you 30% more damage, but you get less area of effect. That, in my opinion, I might swap that out for maybe blindside and then heightened charges for elemental armament. Concentrated area is good, but you get less area of effect, and I feel like it does affect how far your flicker goes. So it may be we might swap that out for elemental armament and swap that out as well. We'll figure it out. Then Whirling Assault. You may notice that Flicker Strike's in weapon set 2 and Whirling Assault's in weapon set 1. I'll explain that when we go down to the skill tree. So we've got magnified area for an increased area of effect. Rage, grant 5 rage on melee hit. It doesn't really matter about the 15% attack speed. It's kind of not going to make much difference. I know Whirling Assault has been nerfed, but you're going to hit maximum rage very, very quick. Rapid attacks 2, Ancestral Call 2. So this allows your support skills to be ancestrally boosted. And then we're going to go with Oison's Oath. You will need Leech Mana as physical damage, and then this obviously converts it to elemental damage. Reaper's Invocation, Profane Ritual. This will consume corpses, which will then generate power charges. Charge Perfusion 2 will give you an extra chance to gain power charges, and then it'll give you a chance to gain a random charge. Energy Retention allows you to keep 35% of the energy, so I'll refund it. Boundless Energy gives you 45% increased energy. And then Overabundance 1, this means your skill has 50% less skill duration, so that means that your Profane Ritual will activate 50% quicker, means you'll get the power charges back faster. Mantra of Destruction. Mantra of Destruction is a very, very, very good skill. This builds combo, and when you pair this with Delayed Gratification and Aelif's Chimes, this allows you to get power charges. So Delayed Gratification means it's 150 times harder to meet, but it means you can proc it twice in the space of like 10 seconds. Aelif's Chimes gives you a 25% surpassing chance to gain a power charge when you expend a combo. Remember, Whirling Assault's going to get your combo really, really easily. And then we're going to get Charge Perfusion, again, which gives you power charges and grants an additional charge. Prolonged Duration, which means Mantra of Destruction can run for longer. And then Mobility, which means you have 25% less movement speed when you're using this. You could also, if you really want to, drop Rage and put Practice Combo, which would allow Whirling Destruction to gain more combo quicker, but with Martial Artists. Clearly not needed. Charge Regulation. I just need to double check because I'm pretty sure Prolonged Duration, I'm not 100% sure it actually works. I will double check and then I'll leave a little comment at this point in the video that says yes it does or yes it doesn't. Herald of Thunder. So we're going to keep this with Ambush, which is more critical hit chance. Magnified Area for more increased effect. Elemental Armament for more damage. Practice combo to build combo on hit. You'll find out why in a minute. And then Lightning Mastery just to increase the level of the supported skills. Killing Palm. So Killing Palm, we're not going for damage on this realistically, we're just going for as fast as possible. So we've got Rapid Attacks free, means that you can use it faster. Fulmination, which gives you the damage per combo. So this will have a combo build up, so therefore any damage that you kind of lost will kind of be cancelled out. Ancestral Call, which means it can target different areas. Thrill of the Kill, which means that anytime you call an enemy, any attacks after that will gain an extra 25% damage. So therefore, Herald of Thunder will gain 25%, Charge Staff will, Falling Thunder, etc. And then Charge Perfusion for, again, gaining power charges. Charge Staff. The Charge Staff consumes all power charges to charge your Quarterstaff with electricity, adding lightning damage and lightning shockwave to your Quarterstaff skills. Reusing this skill while the buff is active adds to the buff's duration and the damage. So basically, what you put in here will be used in here. So we've got Innovate, we'll get an extra 25% damage, 5 seconds on killing a shocked enemy. Blazing Critical, so you gain 15% damage as fire damage for critically hitting with supported skill. Flicker, realistically, once you get to a certain point, Flicker can have 100% crit chance. If you're struggling with Flicker and crit chance, I would take Pinpoint Critical. This will give you 60% more critical hit chance, but it will lower your critical damage bonus down a bit, but you've got more chance of then critical hitting. Then we've got it with Culling Strike, so again, Culling Strike against threats and enemies, and then it increases their threshold. Blind, to apply the blind, which you'll see down in the passive tree. We've taken blind, which gives you 30% more critical hit chance on enemies that are blinded, and then prolonged duration to keep it for as long as possible. Staggering Palm, we've got this with prolonged duration. Projectile acceleration, so it's going to make them have 40% more projectile speed. Blind, which is going to give you increased area of effect, and again, chance to blind the enemies. Shock, which gives you the chance to shock the enemies, and then Stun for more stun build-up. So, how this will work before we move on to Falling Thunder is Whirling Assault will generate combos, which you could use to then pop Mantra of Destruction to gain power charges. Whirling Assault is also a melee skill, so therefore you'll be able to activate Reaper's Invocation, which will then proc Profane Ritual, which will then give you power charges. You can use Flicker Strike to then fly around the map. If there's any of the hollow focus technique bells, you can hit them with Killing Palm and Staggering Palm. These will give you power charges as well, and this will give you the little like projectiles that fire out of it. Herald of Thunder will hit down and strike the enemies. Charge Regulation will give you increased skill speed, more critical hit chance, and more defenses when you have these power charges. So that's going to be big as well. So you're going to be faster, you're going to have more critical hit chance, and you're going to have more defenses. Then we come down to Falling Thunder. Falling Thunder's got Culmination, which allows you to have more damage per combo. Innovate, again, to gain more damage as lightning. Elemental Armament for more damage. Super Critical for more increased critical damage bonus. And then Perpetual Charge for chance not to remove the charge. The reason I've gone for this is you could use Falling Thunder, then it not remove the charge, and then you could flick around. So these two will work hand in hand, Flicker and Falling Thunder. Because Flicker Strike could then not remove the charge. Means you could use Falling Thunder at the end of it. Falling Thunder will not remove a charge, which means you could use Flicker at the end of it. So this will keep you in a consistent loop. So, as I mentioned here, if you want to run cast on crit as to when it hits hollow focus technique, it will cause them to crit. In turn, you'll gain power charges. Also with Martial Mastery, Herald of Thunder, which is now an attack skill, because Martial Mastery means you gain combo from all attack skills. Herald of Thunder will build combo. Everything that you do that's got an attack skill, so Flicker Strike, Reaper's Invocation, Killing Palm, Staggering Palm, Falling Thunder, all them will build combo, which means that you can then pop Mantra of Destruction to gain power charges. At the same time, all these, Flicker Strike is a melee skill, so it's now activating Reapers. Reapers then procs Profane Ritual, which is then giving you power charge. Charge Regulations giving you increased crit chance, skill speed, damage, etc. Falling Thunder is building combo. Killing Palm is generating power charges off the bells. Staggering Palm is generating stun and increased critical hit chance from blind. Quarterstaff is empowering all your attacks. But if you use Nova projectiles, when you would slam Falling Thunder, it will create a big AoE. Each Herald of Thunder Spike should hit the bell. Remember, the hollow focus techniques can get 100% crit chance. Therefore, they should hopefully add towards your cast on crit energy, allowing you to get power charges back quicker from Profane Ritual. Also, just really quickly before we move on to the passive tree, Flicker Strike. Flicker Strike is just one skill and then it shoots around, okay? So if Flicker Strike is, I don't know, 300 mana and you hit 30 enemies, it only costs 300 mana. It only costs the initial strike. If Flicker Strike hits a hollow focus technique bell, that means, hypothetically, I'm going to say, or from what I know, someone please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, and like I say, but that means that if I hit the hollow focus bell with Flicker Strike, that all my remaining Flicker Strikes after that will have 100% crit chance. Again, I've tried to do some research around it, and I'm getting mixed bags of, yes, it could work, yes, it might not work. If it works, brilliant. If it doesn't work, we just have to scale crit chance. Okay, leave a comment below. Some maths wizard or PoE guru, please just let me know, am I right or am I chatting absolute waffle? Anyway, let's move on to the passive tree. Okay, so we're going to put this at full screen. We're going to do this how we normally do it, where I zoom in and I go through each bit and why I've taken it. So we've gone and taken Hollow Focus Technique. Remember, Hollow Focus Technique gives you the bells that appear near you, and each bell is being able to cull, being able to stun, and it has a 100% chance to critical hit. Then we've gone and taken Martial Adept. So when you gain combo, you'll get an additional combo. So instead of gaining 1, you'll gain 2. Gain 2, you'll gain 3. And then minus 0.2 seconds to current energy shield recharge delay per combo expended when using skills. In the patch notes, it has changed. I think the maximum combo you can get is 10. It's 4% increased damage per combo, so therefore it gives you 40%. Realistically, that's going to knock 2 seconds current energy shield recharge delay. If you pop in Mantra of Destruction all the time, the energy shield should come back very, very quick. Martial Mastery, remember these can retain combo and regardless of weapon set. So we're swapping between set 1 and set 2, will still keep us combo, and then all attacks can gain combo. This is going to be very, very busted. And then finally, wear the Stone Fist, but the gloves you equip, change them. These modifiers, such as 10% chance to gain a power charge on a critical hit. There's ones that give you Hollow Focus, Hollow Palm technique just from the ruins. There's ones that can give you 1,300 evasion gloves. Yeah, they're absolutely insane. So this is going to be very, very good. And it'll be good to see how some of the unique gloves interact with this. So then we move round. We've taken Flow Like Water for attack and cast speed, Mindful Awareness for evasion and energy shield, Step Like the Mist for movement speed, mana regen, and dexterity. On weapon set 1, we've taken Mystic Stance for faster energy shield recharge, and then Stun Threshold, Well and Full Life. We've taken Crashing Wave to gain increased damage when we deal a critical hit. We're going to take a lot of crit. We've taken Concussive Attack for more increased damage and a chance of daze. We've also taken Immaterial for increased evasion if energy shield recharges started in past 2 seconds, which it should do. 30% increased evasion rate, and when we have energy shield, we should do. Then Shimmering, which gives me faster start of energy shield recharge rate, increased evasion if you haven't been hit, and then 3% increased movement speed while you have energy shield. Then we're going to come up here, and we've taken the Power Within. This gives you critical damage bonus if you gain a power charge recently. We should, realistically, if we get Val Corruption on a helmet, we should have 7 power charges, because you get 3 basically, 1 from here, 2 from over here. Then we'll come round, and on weapon set 2, we've got Critical Exploit, more critical hit chance, that is our Flicker Strike. Then we've gone and taken Melding, which gives us increase maximum energy shield, but it gives us reduced mana. Like I say, we'll have to check see if we can keep the mana sustain up. Weapon set 1, we've got increased energy shield recharge rate and a faster start of energy shield recharge. Again, we're trying to get this energy shield recharge to happen as quick as possible. On all the weapon sets, we've got increased energy shield increased ailment threshold, increased stun threshold, which are equal to 12% of your maximum energy shield. And then we've got increased maximum energy shield and plus 10 to intelligence. We can, as we go towards the end game build, so my end game build does come up here. What we'll do is we'll just quickly swap to the Uber end game tree. As you can see, the big difference is we took flow state for more skill speed and more mana regen for flicker. And then we'll come down here, like I say, we've got essence infusion, which is more energy shield recharge rate. We've gone and taken soul bloom, which is faster start of energy shield recharge rate. A dual socket, which we'll probably look at getting that now, +3 to flicker strike in it. We've taken dizzying sweep for increased area of damage and an area of effect, and then chance of daze. We've taken killer instinct for damage well on full life and well on low life. We've taken true strike for increased critical hit chance and dexterity. Hollow Jugular for increased critical damage bonus. If you get a duel and you get one that allows you to socket near resonance, okay, you can take that. Chakra of Thought, which is more mana and then increased attack speed. Event Horizon, which gives you more chaos damage, and Spaghettification, which gives you more chaos damage and more movement speed. You can take all them without having to branch up these nodes here. Okay, so you save yourself 4 skill points and then you gain the extra 3 there, so you gain a skill point back. Very, very good, especially these two, if you use Ulnatel's Embrace, because Ulnatel's Embrace and Uruk's Smelting, that's the armor explosion based off chaos damage. Then we come down here and we've got Distracted Target. This is a 30% increased critical hit chance against blinded enemies. Remember, we're trying to blind them with Staggering Palm, Falling Thunder, etc. So we'll blind them as much as possible. Spectral Ward, which is +1 to maximum energy shield per 12 evasion on the body armor. We're going to go for quite a high evasion energy shield body armor because we're going to take a lot of deflection as well. Overflowing Power, which gives you +2 to power charges. Weapon set 1, we got gain deflection equal to 10% of evasion rating. 8% faster start of energy shield recharge, and then 15% increased mana cost efficiency. Will and Assault will be like the one that kind of helps start and kickstart everything. So we kind of want the mana cost and everything to be on that. And then again, the faster start of energy shield recharge. Because what you'll do is you'll flicker, maybe hit your Will and Assault, and then that will give you energy shield recharge. We've got Careful Assassin for increased critical hit chance, but reduced critical damage bonus. Up here to take another dual socket. Up to the top for intelligence, and then Patient Barrier. Remember, this used to be 60%, this is now 50%. We've got 20% slower start of energy shield recharge, but then that should be negated by all the skills that we got, all the combo and everything. So realistically, that shouldn't matter. We should still recharge energy shield as fast as possible. If you're struggling and you're finding yourself being stunned, drop a bit of damage and take Abasement and Shimmering Mirage. These will give you stun recovery and stun threshold and elemental threshold equal to 30% of your energy shield. These are very, very good. So maybe look at dropping some form of damage somewhere. It's entirely up to you. Drop maybe these back nodes here or something. Come down, we've got Throat Seeker, increased critical damage bonus, but reduced critical hit chance. Again, these two go like kind of hand in hand. And we've taken the new skills, the first principle of the Hollow, which is 20% increased evasion and energy shield. And then you got +5% to cold resistance and lightning resistance. Hollow Keeper, so this is reduced effect of curses. There's nothing worse than being slowed or frozen or anything. And then 30% reduced effect of non-damage ailments on you. And then finally, first teachings of the Keeper, which is increased fire and chaos resistance. You gain deflection to equal to 8% of your evasion rating. And again, it's a faster start of energy shield recharge. Okay, you may notice that we haven't taken Chaos Inoculation, but you also may notice that there is 1/2 skill points available, which means you can take Chaos Inoculation if you want. Quarterstaff, we've gone and taken Will and Assault, which gives me increased attack speed and then knocks the enemies back if you critical hit. One with the River, which basically gives you increased defenses, 10% chance to daze, and then freeze and then stun. That's very, very good. And then on weapon set 2, which is for the Flicker Strike, we've gone and consuming power charges count as consuming an additional power charge. Remember, Falling Thunder is on weapon set 2 as well. And then we've got critical damage bonus for these one. If you're struggling for critical hit chance, get this side rather than this side. We come down, we've got Chakra of Impact, which is 20% increased attack damage, and then skills deal 8% increased damage per combo consumed. So again, that's going to make Falling Thunder hit like an absolute truck. If you don't want to run Falling Thunder, you're more than welcome to remove them, okay, and give yourself 4 charges somewhere. Look around wherever else you can find it. Maybe branch into this side and get the Staggering Palm, Shattering Palm. Another duel. Best thing for these dual sockets is either the 4% increased damage as chaos and like lightning or anything like that, or the increased critical hit chance by the notables. There's quite a lot of notables around this corner here. Then we've got Dizzying Hits, which is increased critical hit chance and a chance to daze. This is increased damage against dazed enemy and a chance to daze. Then we come round and we've taken Heart Stopping, Heartbreaking, and Struck Through. So these all give you critical hit chance and critical damage bonus. And then finally, come up and we take Enhanced Reflexes for evasion rating, gain deflection equal to this evasion rating, increased dexterity, and then Be Still Skin for again increased evasion rating on the body armor. So that is the Uber endgame passive tree. as I mentioned before, the whole build guide and everything is in the link in the description. This is the like early maths, so getting as high as you can, start to branch out which way you want to go. There, you don't have to go up to here. Realistically, aim for as much defenses as you can. I feel like GGG are going to make the bosses hit a lot harder this time, so it might be worth specking into as much as you can. I did a little bit of maths. I don't know how 100% correct it is here, but you've got roughly that delay will be 1.65 seconds. That's without the combo expended. That means the combo is 2 seconds. Therefore, energy shield should recharge instantly. One final bit, just to go over it. Mapping, Will and Assault, use Reapers, activate Profane Ritual, Quarterstaff to give you the empowered attacks, flicker around while holding Reaper's Invocation. Okay, so just hold it. So for me, it's on my mouse button. For PlayStation users, I think most people had it on like a shift, not a shift, like an L2 and triangle as they flickered round. Then you'll gain the power charges. Press it, and that'll come back basically. If you can get the spirit, take cast on critical. So much easier. Okay, it'll do it automatically, but you need to make sure you've got a high critical hit chance for it. Don't be sitting here with 40% critical hit chance and then running cast on crit. It's not going to work. Again, when you build, it's not 20 combo. I will edit that. It's now 10 combo for mantra. Activate it and you'll get charges. Bossing, whirlwind, activate mantra. Remember, there's a slight delay in bosses. You can't one-shot them. So do a few hits with Will and Assault. Pop mantra. Remember, mantra gives you 50 to 69% chaos damage, charge staff, and then obviously Flicker Strike or use Falling Thunder. It's entirely up to you. Full guide on how to generate your power charges here. Then we've got a full guide to generate power charges on Reaper's Invocation. Then Infinite Falling Thunder. This is showing you how the Hollow Focus technique will work, and then obviously cast on critical and how you could basically generate power charges as quick as possible, which means you can fall in thunder as easy as possible. And then keeping up the energy shield, this is a theory. So again, I've placed it in weapon set 1. It's paired with a lot of energy shield recharge. So therefore, due to Martial Adept, once I swap back to my Will and Assault, my energy shield should recharge. So effectively, it should be take damage, build combo, bend mantra, Martial Adept removes the delay, and then allows me to basically get my energy shield recharged. Yeah, so this is my Flicker Strike and Falling Thunder Martial Artist. I will update it as and when I go through the game. I'll have the download build file as well here. That'll be all updated, so you can just literally import it straight into your game. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and leave me a comment. Is anything that I've missed? Is anything that I can change? Is any suggestions to improve it? Don't forget to follow me on Twitch as well. I do stream on YouTube and Twitch. I will be streaming my whole playthrough of the Flicker Strike and Falling Thunder Martial Artist, so you'll see anything live before a YouTube video comes out. And stay safe. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.